We went to the Chicago Golf Expo. We spent a lot of money. We talked to a bunch of vendors. We tested some gears and we had some opinions about it. Also, Bhatia was 5 shots down to start on
Mhm.
Sunday and won anyways. We have a lot to talk about here today, Jeff. Welcome back to Two Off the Tee. I'm your host, the better golfer, James Shin, and with me, my co-host, the worst golfer, the titleist of loans, Jeff Shin. Jeff,
Ah,
welcome back to the show.
thanks for inviting me back to my show.
You're very welcome. So I wanted to talk about us going to the Chicago Golf Expo. How did you like it? Did you have a lot of fun? What were some of your favorite vendors? And what were some of your favorite vendors that we spoke to?
I don't know if I get excited anymore going to the Chicago Golf Expo, but I do like going. And I feel like it's more traditional now to go because it's the indicator for us in Chicago that, hey, golf season's right around the corner. It's getting a little warmer. So that's why I like going, just to go through the motions and see what's out there and then getting ready for the season. How'd you like it?
The last time I went was, I don't even know, 10 or 12 years ago when we first got into golf. And I was like, super, yeah, man, everything golf. I love it. And it was really small then. And now, dude, it was huge. It's a huge growth of golf. I was still pretty bored. It just seemed like the same thing as last time 10 years ago. It was just vendor, nothing super unique. I mean, there was some unique stuff. And I'll let you talk about that because you talked to the owner, and I was kind of fascinated by it. But it was the same for me, honestly. Nothing super
Yeah,
crazy, nothing
it's
super
not.
exciting.
Yeah, I would agree. It's nothing to be overly excited about, but again, for me, it's fun to go to get in the groove of golf season. As for booths, a lot of great booths, very similar always. You got a lot of different resorts there. One that stood out in particular was the virtual caddy app. I thought that was pretty cool. It reminds me of the other apps that are out there that are GPS enabled, but this one in particular has AI built in. And the way the guy was explaining it to us, that it'll be able to keep track of all your clubs, what you hit, what to do. So it seems like it's a blend of Arcos, but it's on your phone and you don't need to have the devices connected to your butt of your club. So I thought that item was cool. I'm not entirely sure how I feel as a golfer and trying to be the traditionalist, the purist of golf, with technology out there and having a caddy. How do you feel about a caddy on your phone with AI?
I would have to really test it to see how it works, but I think it's pretty interesting because maybe it will tell you things that you're not realizing on the course. Like a lot of people are just flag hunt, where it might tell you, hey, there's a bunker protecting the green here. If you want to miss left. The better place to bail out is the left or the right. Or, I mean, again, like that time we played at Cog Hill a couple weeks ago. I didn't know there was water to the right of the green, and I usually hit a draw. And I think it just went straight where I was aiming a little bit, and I thought I was going to draw it. And yeah, the pond was frozen, but I still had to take a drop. So I think AI would have told me, hey, if you want to miss left, things like that. It's really cool. I'm excited to see what it could actually do because I've been using AI a lot now. I don't even talk to people anymore. It's just you're talking to so.
It's a beautiful tool. That's why I was told you a couple years ago to get on it. But at least you're using it now, and you definitely see the power of it. And I still feel like with AI, it's in its infancy of what it can do, and now people are starting to explore. So even with golf, AI out there, it's interesting. I don't know if it should be allowed or not. A part of me goes, I mean, and I love technology, so a part of me goes, why not? But I feel like it could definitely slow down the rounds with people out there on their phone looking at it, oh, I should do this. Unless there's a device that, you could have headphones on or something that you can talk to your caddy very quickly, how you're playing, penalties, whatever you're recording, that it could say, yeah, if you're looking to shave off strokes, do this. So again, yeah, I would love to test it out. I did sign up to get on the beta. With the Grint, when it came out early years, I did see an email asking for beta testers, and I did beta test a lot of Grint products early in stages. And I would love to have access to it just as a guy that loves technology and golf. Why not? I feel like I'd be a good test subject to use out there.
Yeah. And the Megalodome, we talked to them for a little bit. They almost got all the funding for their massive project that they're working. I think it's $50 million. It's going to
Yep.
be 3 separate domes, par 30. I forgot. Did it say? Did she say membership only? I forgot what she said.
Yeah. She said membership.
Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting. I didn't know Oswego was such a big golf community over there.
Well, it's not. I mean, you might have missed it, but I did ask her. I'm like, "Hey, why Oswego?" Right? Like, you could pick any location, and they went Oswego. It's like, well, we just feel like golf is a destination, and people will come out here. So, they believe it's a destination. People are already throwing in money to get involved in this, and they're looking to go membership based. So, I imagine with the membership and green fees, it's probably not going to be cheap in the beginning years for starting. I don't know how I feel about the membership part. I mean, I love golf, but let's say I had a membership at a country club. Do I want to throw down more money to have another membership at Oswego? I don't know. I'm not entirely sold on the concept of a membership over there. It sounded great from the lady of what she's saying, and what's more impressive is that they were able to raise 50 million so quickly.
Power of social media, it went viral, and a lot of people want to put their hand in the cookie jar. I entered some raffles, not many, but I ended
Oh
up
yeah.
winning. I ended up winning a round at Sultan's Run in Buffalo Trace in Indiana and
Okay.
a one-night stay. So I think that's the first time I've ever won anything in my life, raffle-wise. So I'm very excited about that.
I wonder if that was the lady where I was like, "What do we got to do to make sure we win?" Because that's
I
the only
think
time I used
so.
that line, and you won.
Yeah, I mean, I do like messing with people in the public, so anything I could do to get a laugh or a chuckle or something, or I'm doing stuff like that. So did you think the Golf Expo is actually worth it? Are you gonna go back next year? What do you think?
I mean, I'll probably still go next year anyways, again, just because it's just more of a something I do traditionally going to the golf expo. So I feel like why not? At least this year, since we're doing the podcast, there was a little bit more motivation going. So that was a big reason why. And I wanted to see which vendors were what they had in stored and different products. I mean, it's always cool to see what people come up with because sometimes I sit there, I'm like, damn, how many more gadgets do you need as a golfer? Some items are really cool that you never really thought of. The one that stood out in particular, but I don't know if I would use it yet. If you remember that booth with the lady that had the covers, the sleeve for the putter when it rains,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I remember.
right? And I'm not hating on the business. I love it that someone's trying to start a business and do something, but I just feel like when it's raining, you're just gonna put your cover on. So
Yeah.
right? But unless you're going but I guess an additional product because you still have to go to the green and putt, and if you lay down your club and you're chipping, then it still stays dry. So, I guess in that sense, to have that product of a just in case, but, I mean, how often are you really golfing in the rain? So, again, I love the idea that they're trying. I hope they do really well, and that's just, my feedback on it.
Mhm.
And then the other product that I thought was cool was that liquid drink. It was definitely better than liquid IV.
Yeah, that was very refreshing. I can't remember what it was called, but it was very refreshing. I don't know why I didn't buy any of
Yeah,
that.
I know. And we're sitting there talking in front of us like, should we buy some?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to buy a bunch. It was really good. I mean, it was really refreshing, especially on a hot golf day. I mean, trying to stay hydrated out there, that was probably a big miss on our part.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, to answer your question, I'll probably go back next year, just again, because it's at the end of February and it just gets you in the mood for golf season. You?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure. Anyways, Jeff, moving on to the front nine. Akshay Bhatia. He wins the Arnold Palmer. He shot minus 15 and he was down 5 strokes starting Sunday and wins in a playoff against Daniel Berger. Did you have any money on this? I'm sure you did. Did you win some money?
No, I'm on a losing streak right now. Funny enough, with Bhatia, that was the guy 2 weeks ago we were talking about it where I said, I can't pronounce his name and I forgot his name, but I knew he was sort of new to the tour, that I didn't think he was going to win, and he didn't. And last week, when I was watching a little bit of Art Bay Hill, I did see Berger dominating pretty much with a pretty big lead. And I was gonna bet on Berger to win and just bet a little bit bigger to make the same money that I would want to make at least. But then I was hesitant because I was like, oh man, what happens if he falls apart or if I jinx him? And this is another mistake that I made betting on a Sunday bet here with the leader and losing. But I did see Bhatia climbing up. Actually, he birdied 4 holes in a row, which totally changed the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, when you're down, I don't know, you just something you pull something out of you and you start pulling all these miraculous putts and shots, and it's the competitiveness. And then if you're in the lead, you maybe want to coast, but coasting might not be. I mean, we talked about this last week with Shane Lowry. The same thing happened to him. He had a nice lead, started coasting, tried to play it safe, went in the water a couple times. So it's a different game mentally when you're definitely behind and trying to pull out that W.
Does that change anything for you now that you're seeing this? Because I think this is what the third playoff that the PGA had this year, and all three were comeback wins.
Is that right? I know that Batia, I think, won by all three of his wins are by playoff, I believe.
Yeah, but I'm saying, last week or not last week, 2 weeks ago, was that when Waste Management, right? We had a playoff. This one had a playoff, and I think I can't remember the first playoff of the year, but at least 2 out of 3, and let's call it 5 weeks has happened. What I was asking more so is, for our league, let's say you have the lead because we made some changes this year, especially with the handicap allowance, and you're leading going into the back nine. Seeing what the tour players are doing, does this change the way you want to play and close out, or do you try to maintain your lead, or do you just keep going, thinking you're still in second or third place?
I think it's definitely a big difference with amateur play, especially at our skill level versus the PGA. I don't know if I've ever been in the lead in a long time. So I'm always chasing from behind. I mean, if
Well,
I had the lead, I would probably just try to coast for a while and let other people blow up because for our skill level, it's highly probable that an amateur will blow up a hole. So if I was in the lead, which is very rare, I would play, I think I would just play a little safe. I think by me, I could play safe. I could just get one in the fairway, get one up near the green. If I miss the green, I could just chip on, maybe save par, bogey. Worst case, I three putt, double bogey. I think I would just play safe, and let the other people make mistakes once I'm in the lead.
well, let me ask you this, because I know you said it's rare, and not to sound like I'm trying to throw you under the bus, but obviously, with hindsight, last year in our league, I believe you were leading majority of the day at the final event for us at Bolingbrook. Now
Yeah.
that you can reflect back after last season of the championship round and what you're seeing with tour players, do you feel like you were playing too safe and then that's where you made the mistakes?
No, so at Bolingbrook, I think it was like hole at par five, hole 11 or 12. I pushed my drive a little right into the water, and then I had to re-tee because I didn't really have a place to drop. And then it landed in the bunker there, and it was like on the lip, like
Uh-huh.
right. And I had to, I don't even know, hit a wedge or something out. And then I hit another shot and I couldn't find my ball after the next one. It was in play somewhere. It didn't go in the water. I searched for like 5 minutes, couldn't find my ball. I had to take a lost ball. Yeah, and then from there, it was just I just kind of played bogey golf, but that hole specifically, like it ruined me. I forgot what I got, an eight, a triple or a quad or something on that hole. It ruined me. And then yeah, from that point on, it was just bogey golf. I probably couldn't shake that out of my head.
Mhm.
And then yeah, Sebastian was just sticking greens every hole, and it's kind of frustrating because I was in the lead, and then this guy gets a stroke on me like every single hole, and he's sticking greens in twos. It was quite frustrating for me. I think the greens were tough. I mean, it was a championship round, so I was kind of nervous for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, if I'm ever in that position leading, what I'm learning, at least with the pros and just discussing this, I'm just gonna keep playing my game instead of trying to change how I would play and being conservative, let's say, to not blow up the lead. and just try to increase my lead.
Yeah, well, I think we hear a lot of stories of the blow ups where they blow the lead. Because there was a guy, I think, in St. Andrews in a major, he blew up, the last 3 holes long time ago. There's a lot of blow up stories that we hear just because it's good for media. But I don't think we hear the stories where someone was just coasting and they won, which probably happens more often than not. But that's not exciting news. So we probably just don't hear about that. Who knows? I mean, playing aggressive the whole time when you're in the lead, I think could have its advantages. And then people
Hmm.
behind you try to chase you and they do stupid things and then they start blowing up. I mean, it's a whole game out there that you're playing chess. And I think some people just don't understand that. And some people don't. They just think like, oh, the guy's just better than me. But I want to move on to live. John Rahm, I believe, had a won by like a landslide. I believe I can't remember how much he won by.
I wouldn't say a landslide, but I feel like he was pretty dominant right away. But he only won by 3 strokes.
It's kind of a
And
lot. I mean, it's not like Tiger era a lot, but it's still kind of a lot.
yeah, yeah, I mean, it definitely is. And again, I feel like doing the podcast, reviewing rounds a little bit regarding the players and reflecting back in our league. Yeah, yeah, 3 strokes is a lot, but I still feel like it's not an overwhelming, powerful win. But yeah, kudos to him for what he pulled off in winning. I know, was it a few weeks ago when they were playing, and the whole story with Anthony Kim. I mean, Rahm was leading the whole time, and it's not like Rahm made any mistakes to lose. He was just parring everything. He couldn't make a putt, whereas Anthony Kim that at that time was making every putt to close out. So that's what was pretty impressive. So it's not surprising that Rahm won this event, but I'm still going to keep betting on Anthony Kim just because his odds are so low to win. If he does, it's just you know it's a huge win when he wins betting on Kalshi. So yeah, with Rahm winning, it was probably overshadowed too, just for the fact that Bay Hill's a signature event for PGA. So I feel like with Live, you could clearly tell it makes a huge difference who's winning on that event, and all eyes are on Anthony Kim.
Yeah, I would agree with the comeback story. He's got a lot of new fans. It reminds me of the PGA 2K game when you do the post game and then you say something, then you get more fans. Kind of reminds me of that. But Rom, I mean, he hasn't won since 2024, so this could be I think he had a lot of runner up wins, so this could be a little exciting for Rom and catapulting
Yeah,
him into a
well,
new
he's
ranking.
I think he's won Live events, but it's his first win actually because now that Live has a world ranking, so they didn't have it for 2+ years since he's been on it, and now that it's back, yeah, it's technically, I guess it would be his first worldwide win.
Yeah. It's interesting how that worldwide ranking works because they're not really playing the best of the best. They're just playing the best of the live. So it's very
Uh,
interesting how that works.
yeah, I mean, it's you know what though, it's early stages for Live, so it's too hard to say they're not playing against the best of the best. Obviously, PGA does seem like it's the best of the best, and there's a path for people to get on there. And I don't really know what the path is to get truly on Live besides being drafted to a team. If that's the case, you get drafted to a team is very limited because you have only 4 people, maybe 6 people on the team that can compete. So I mean, Live essentially will have to have an expansion and have more teams to have more players join in order for their players to get more world ranking points.
Mhm. Yeah. Do
Do
you
you
do you
think
think winning going -23 on live is a big deal versus the PGA course selections that they play at?
Well, it does put it in perspective. I mean, I don't think Bay Hill's an easy course, and you can see that Rahm shooting 23 over 4 days is a lot, and Bhatia shot -15 and pushing it to a playoff. So again, it just feels like at least with the PGA, it's just better competition there.
Well, Jeff, we're gonna move on to the turn here.
I do have a
Oh,
question real quickly.
sure. What do you got?
With Rob joining Live, people kept calling him a traitor. Do you think it changes anything now that he won and has a world ranking points? Or you're like, yeah, whatever.
I think to the public's eyes, he's probably still a traitor. going to live. I don't know if
And he
that many
waited.
people can care that. It seems like now it's such old news that I feel like nobody cares anymore. Like when it happens, people are like, "Oh, this is such a big deal," and now they're just like in two different leagues. I think it's silly that there's two professional leagues like this for golf. Like
Well, there's more. It's just no one paid attention to all the other ones.
no one's really paying attention to live either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No one really pays attention, and I think that's the thing. No one really cares that Rahm won last week in comparison to Batia's win at Bay Hill.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people care that Anthony Kim won, so
So I've been saying,
it's
man, I think there's something brewing there, and that's why they're making him the face because none of the other players are drawing that much attention in comparison to Anthony Kim.
I
And
think
it's
it's a
probably
good
that.
story though to be told, that's why. There's a story and narrative to be told where Rahm is like it's like I guess if Scheffler won again, you'd be like, "Alright, cool." You know?
Well, no, what else? You'll see it because I did see something on the internet where they're saying Kevin Kisner has joined Four Plays their podcast, and I know he gave them a lot of great content, but there was a clipping where he was talking about Anthony Kim, and he was like, "Dude, he was in his 20s, he was an elite ball striker, elite." He was saying this guy would hit the center of the face all the time. And on top of that, not only is he a good golfer, I mean, there's just something about Anthony Kim. He has that swagger.
Mhm.
So I think, winning in that swagger makes a huge difference because, a lot of tour players are really trying to be proper. And I feel like the live guys try to still have that a little bit. Where Anthony Kim's like, yeah, whatever. I won, I lost. Yeah, he just has that swagger. So I think that's why live is really trying to um, get behind Anthony Kim.
Yeah, I could see that. Great narrative they're playing too, into the hearts of all the fans.
Hmm.
Jeff, have to move on though. We're going on to the turn now. The Players' Championship. A lot of people are calling it the fifth major at TPC Sawgrass. What do you think about that?
I did read a lot of, consume a lot of content regarding this. And I just feel like they're grasping to make a story out of something. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult to turn this into another major because, again, golf is one of those sports where it's a very traditional sport. There's a lot of purists out there trying to introduce a fifth major. For what purpose? You already have four. Then you're going to rewrite the storybooks and let's say there is a fifth major and someone does win it. Now they're going to say, this guy's a Grand Slam winner. He won all five. Tiger could never do that. Well, yeah, no shit. Because, hey, you added another one and you're just moving the field goal post for no reason. So I don't think it works great. And the one thing that really caught my attention in this is I heard Rory talking about it. And he basically said, yeah, ask the LPGA how the fifth major is doing for them. And I was like, what? So I actually looked it up and the LPGA has five majors.
I didn't know that.
I don't even know out of all of them, to be honest. I only know of the Evian major that they have because they jump into the lake. Outside of that,
Um,
it's a nothing against them. And maybe if I followed it a little bit more closely, sure, I would know a little bit more. But I just feel like when you're on social media, that stuff would just be pushed to you anyways. And I don't see a lot of push towards it. So yeah, like Rory said, I mean, they have five majors. How's it doing for them? Probably doesn't do anything special. So what are you going to do? Try to turn a tournament that's player friendly that these tour players like going to make it a major because it's popular.
I think they should leave it at 4. I think it has a better ring to it. 4 majors. It is one of the largest purses, I think, in golf tournaments. So it's very interesting. And there's a signature hole at TPC, the Island Par 3. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we love Island Par 3s. And it's probably a lot of golfers love Island Par 3s. I think there's a big turning point in a game or in a match at an Island Par 3. There's a lot that can go wrong there.
Oh yeah. Especially where they put the pin placements, short it. It could go you have no idea the wind, where it's blowing, putting. You could possibly roll it off the green into the water. And I,
That's
I remember,
diabolical.
yeah, but I also remember listening to watching videos with their architect, Pete Dye. And, his whole idea was just to screw with tour players or not tour players, but, golfers trying to make each design incredibly difficult where you're like, damn it, dude. Like, why would you do this? Why would you put a tree in the middle of the fairway? Why would you put, a bunker in the middle of the fairway? What's wrong with you? And then you have an island par threes. Like, what? But it's fun because if you remember, when we got into golf, man, I can't remember the course name, but we would stay out there because there was not a lot of golfers, and especially when we went Twilight, it was wide open, and we would just sit on that par three for like the rest of the day, like dummies trying to stick the green and just losing golf balls. Actually, I just can't remember that course, but I thought that was a fun one that we always hung out at the end of the day. Do you remember the course?
That's called Indian Lakes in Bloomingdale. They closed, I think, I don't even know when. Before
Yeah,
COVID, I think.
yeah, it's been a minute since they closed, but I definitely remember that one where we would just hang out there all day until the sun would set and just we were using our own golf balls as range balls, basically trying to stick that green.
Yeah.
Any other memorable par threes that are islands to you locally here?
The only one I could think of is Bolingbrook.
Is that 15? That's 15, right?
Yeah, 15.
That is a fun one. I do look forward to playing that one. And it was a while. We played it twice last year, the most in like 5 years, right?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's kind of
So
far and it's rather expensive, but yeah, that island par three that could definitely change the momentum of a game for sure. I mean, especially during the tournament play, you're on the final stretch, and if you dunk one in the water and your opponent sticks it, but where the drop zone is it's so easy to get back on and then walk out with a bogey or a double bogey.
I think they get bogey saves on that hole.
I mean, I have.
Bolingbrook? Yes, I thought you meant TPC.
Oh, TPC. No, I think they have to re-hit.
No, there's a drop zone. They have
Oh,
a
it's
drop
closer
zone,
to
but
the left or something. Yeah, I think I remember now.
yeah. But I feel like anytime on a par three you drop and you don't have a good approach shot, that's a double.
But I think
Very
TPC
hard.
they still have to carry the water.
Yeah, but the pros carrying water is nothing.
But it's still a
Landing it and
it's still a mini island now for them.
well, it's the spin, especially on Sunday, where the Sunday pin placement is, when they have so much spin that it might just zip and roll off the green, especially it's firm if it doesn't rain. And to what you were saying at Bolingbrook, that one, even on the drop zone, yeah, it's safe of where you could chip on, but even if you chip on it doesn't, if you're not close to the pin and just putting wise, I mean, it's easily a double. And we should maybe look into going back here to Ruffle Feathers this year because they do have a par three that's an island one.
Place is terrible, man.
Yeah, it's a little beat up. I remember when we used to go, and being the golf enthusiast, I was looking at a lot of the architects that design course. I was like, oh, it's a Pete Dye course. We should go here and check it out. And we thought it was cool, but yeah, you're right. It was beat up then.
I don't even
And
remember if it was beat up then, but I will tell you now, recently, it's really bad. It's like it's now becoming like Klein Creek or whatever that course is. Although I like
yeah,
Klein Creek's layout, but the conditions were just very poor.
that's I'll have to reconsider this. I really did like playing Ruffle Feathers though. There's a handful of holes that stood out in particular, but it would be fun to play that par three because it's a hole 11. I remember that much at Ruffle Feathers.
Can't remember that course to be honest. I last time I went, I was really upset that I paid $80 or $90. It was terrible. It was awful. And after that, they're on the ban list, kind of like Hilldale. So can't go back. Can't give them money again. You can't support these places that have terrible conditions. Not
Yeah,
in this
I
economy.
I agree.
Jeff, do you have any money on the players? Who are you betting
I
on? The Koreans? So I think Siwoo's gonna play. And who else is gonna play? Tom Kim.
Yeah. So players, I was thinking of actually going Rory. I think he's done historically well there, but might be forgetting this, but I think he withdrew Bay Hill because of a
Mhm.
back injury. So I wouldn't want to bet on him going into the players. And I might give Siwoo another shot. Maybe that magic in the early season of being hot has died down for him. But right now, I think I would throw some money on Colin Morikawa. He's been in the top five lately after the win at Pebble. For Live, I will Singapore. I'm going to run it back again with Anthony Kim. So those are my two guys. It's an Asian theme. I'm going to take Colin and Anthony Kim.
That's funny. Well, I hope that you finally win some money, Jeff. It sounds like you've
Yeah,
been taking L's for a while.
yeah, that's small little losses, but I mean they're small bets, and that's the thing. It's like options trading, you just buy low overnight, stock jumps up 35% like Hims, and then you're like, holy cow, this is a good amount of money I made. So same thing. I'm gonna bet on
Yeah.
Anthony Kim, dark horse. buy low, small investment, and when he wins, it's a massive payout for the amount of money you put in. I mean, it's like you could put in 25 bucks on him and win $1,000. Why not? Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, maybe. All right. I might put some, I might have to download Kalshi or whatever the hell this is.
I got you. I got a referral code.
Jeff, moving on to the back nine here. Got a couple hot takes I want to ask you. And I'm going to have to read my notes for this one. Would you rather play Augusta National once with no calorie, no cameras, with three of your best friends? Or would you rather have a lifetime master's badge for every session, practice rounds included, forever?
That all right. That's a tough one. I was fortunate enough to go to the Masters, and it was the Wednesday practice round, so we got to see the par three contest. And I would like to just play it once, and I'll take three people. That's
Wow.
what I would. I rather do that because it's the experience. I mean, for me personally, I experienced going to the Masters. Maybe it would be a different experience being able to witness someone winning on a Sunday, on a championship or a Saturday.
Well, you could go every day, every event.
Yeah, no, for sure. I could take a week off and go there. I'm assuming this is just by myself, right? Unless I could find other people that want to go.
I think this is just for yourself.
Yeah, to be there for a week, spending it, I just feel like in doing it every year, even just I feel like even if I'm there 4 days, it's gonna be tiresome anyways. So if you said it was just more like going Saturday, Sunday, yeah, maybe, but even walking golf courses at these events, man, it's exhausting. It's just, when we go to when we went to Whistling Straits, it's exhausting. So I feel like going to the Masters and walking around or planting myself somewhere on Amen Corner watching all the holes, I'll just get I'll get tired to going every single day. So that's why. Plus, I think just being able to play Augusta with your boys for one time, that's an experience in itself that you'll never forget.
I think I
What
would have
about
to
you?
agree. I would have to play Augusta once. I mean, I'm not I think that he already knew my answer. I'm not big into sports. I'm not big into watching events. So I would rather play Augusta. I never will play it. We could barely get onto private country clubs anyway. So if I had the opportunity to play Augusta, either by myself or with three other friends of mine, I would have to pick Augusta versus going to every Augusta event.
Oh,
I'm a player. I'm not a sports watcher. I don't like to sit on the sidelines and watch, pros play. That to me is a waste of time and energy. I don't want to do that. So I would have to play Augusta, and who knows what I shoot there, 100. I heard it's really hard. So
it's probably tough, but yeah, I think just being able to play once in itself it's way more meaningful.
for sure, Jeff, I got another hot take for you.
Okay.
6-hour Saturday round at your favorite Chicago course with your three best friends in perfect weather, or a 3-hour solo Twilight round at a mediocre trek so you're home for family dinner. Let me change that to a 2-hour solo Twilight round because I know it could be done in two. It doesn't have to be three.
I'm taking 2 hours all day long, all day long. 6 hours at your favorite course with your friends is great, but it's 6 hours. It's not even like you're gonna have fun for 6 hours. And I really say this because I'm telling you right now, whoever that group was, and if you ever see this at Heritage Bluff, you should never play golf again. That
That was
was
pretty bad.
terrible. I do not wanna go through that ever again.
That was very terrible and frustrating
That
for
was
sure.
miserable. I would not wanna spend 6 hours at my favorite course. I don't care if someone invites me to go to Medina to play and it's 6 hours. No, thank you. That's
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I'll never get to play Medina, so I might have to take the Medina.
no, man. I can't. There's no way. What are you gonna there's no way. It's a shot every 30 minutes? What? It's something like that? I don't know what the math is, but no, no way. I can But you did throw in perfect weather, so let me think about it. No, I can't. I don't care what course. I don't care what course in Illinois that's great or any great course in Illinois that wants to invite me out and see if I wanna come for 6 hours. Good luck having me come out there. I will not do it. That's
I guess
just
it depends on the course, because if I'm just walking with my three buddies
we're
down the
walking in
fairway,
at 6 hours?
yeah. I
Hell
don't think you could
no.
ride Medina. You can't ride at some of these courses. You can't ride everywhere.
Oh my god, walking 6 hours? There's no chair. You know what I mean? Nah, no, no way. No way. How can you would do that?
Yeah, I would walk. Yeah.
Yeah, no way. No way. 6 hours is way too long. That's miserable territory. I'm telling you right now. I don't know if anyone's experienced it, but those guys at Heritage Bluff, I'm telling you, man, they almost ruined golf.
That was annoying. I mean, yeah, that was very annoying.
And we got to sit in our carts and just chill. Now you gotta stand? Ugh, no way. No, thank you.
Jeff, have another hot take, and I don't know if this is true. The PGA and the LPGA are giving sponsor exemptions to social media creators over mini tour grinders who earned it.
I don't know why they're doing that. It's
Are
not
they
like they're
doing that? Is that true?
well, I think Horvath had an exemption to play. I know he got invited last year, but he's like, "I'm a YouTuber. You're not gonna let me record the rounds. Why would I do that?" And then I think he got an invite this year. But either way, I don't know why any professional sport would invite these guys. And I understand they're pretty good, but they're not that good at the end of the day. I mean, even if we were to play basketball or baseball, you think an NBA team's gonna be like, "Hey, James, you want to be the sixth man for the day and play?" No, like, why are you doing that? I could see in terms of food and an influencer going out to, not necessarily, I'll just say a hole in the wall place, right? And they go there and they give it a quick plug on social media and that business boost. Yeah, great. But the PGA doesn't need that. And I feel like when the PGA does that to get, these influencers on there, you're telling me your ratings suck.
Yeah, I could agree. I mean, the influencer crowd, they do have a lot of views. They have a lot of eyeballs on them. If I was Grant, would I want to play on the PGA? Probably not, because I know I can't compete with them. And like Grant is playing with celebrities anyway, so to me, it feels a lot cooler playing with celebrities and pros anyways, and being in the cart with them and shooting the shit and playing golf versus trying to competitively play against them when I know I have no shot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even I don't even care about the money or whatever that's involved that you could possibly make. But I mean, if they invite me, I'm going. But if I'm the
Yeah, I was gonna
PGA,
ask you, what if they you got the call and said, "Jeff, you're famous on social media. Come play with us."
yeah, of course. Well, it's a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer for me to go to the event and play, right? But I'm saying I thought the question is should the PGA do this or the LPGA? I think
No,
it's a
they
bad
are.
look if they do that. Yeah, I think it's a bad look. I think it's a terrible look that they're inviting them. There's like no reason. Why am I highlighting on my platform that has the most eyeballs you, right? Like, why? I should be highlighting and pushing all my tour players. The do I care about Grant?
He brings eyeballs and might fill some seats.
He gets eyeballs because of the tour too, so let's not forget that. And I don't it's not a shot to Grant, but I'm just saying if I was in leadership on PGA, no, no. They could come to practice rounds and pro-ams and stuff like that, but no, I don't need you playing Thursday.
I agree. I mean, I think it's meant for the best of the best, and I think that's how it should be.
Yeah. Monday to Wednesday, sure. Come on by. Thursday? Nah, dude. These are for
But if they invite you, you would play in it.
if I'm invited, yeah, well, I'd be an idiot to say no.
It would be interesting to see Jeff Shin playing against the PGA guys and
Yeah, let me be
gets
the
whooped.
last group to go. Let me be the first group out there and ruin the pace of play for everyone.
That would be funny. Well, Jeff, I think that's all I have for today's episode. Unless you have anything else to drop a dime on.
No, I mean, I know we're really busy, a lot of stuff brewing. So
We do have a lot of things in the secret files that can't be leaked going on.
yeah, I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on. I know that our league is going to start here soon, so it's a lot of preparation of golf related stuff. And
Yeah.
for work, it's just getting busy because it is our time of year now. So no, I got nothing.
Maybe we'll leak some stuff slowly once things develop a little bit more. Drop a comment about if you would rather play Augusta with three of your buddies one time, or if you would rather have a ticket pass to Augusta every event. And if you're new here, please subscribe. If you're just lurking, like and subscribe. And we will see you next week, or maybe in the following week, because I'm going to Japan in 7 hours.
All right. See you.
I'll see you next time.
Okay, see you.
See you.